People in our country love celebrating festivals with their near and dear ones. Each Indian festival has its unique way of celebration, and people follow the traditions while celebrating the same. However, some things which remain common, for instance, are houses are decorated with flowers and lights, people exchange gifts, they visit each other and wear new clothes, and so on. One such festival celebrated in India is Christmas. Christmas is an annual festival celebrated by Christians commemorating the birth of Jesus Christ, observed on December 25th every year. Celebrations include gifts giving, social gatherings, family get together, feasting, singing of carols, decorating of Christmas tree, and so on. The lesson which we are going to learn today is a Christmas carol. It is a Christmas carol as it tells us a story about a person named Ebenezer Scrooge. What is a carol now? A carol is a devotional song sung by Christians during Christmas. So as I told you, the lesson is a Christmas carol. It talks about a person named Ebenezer Scrooge. Ebenezer Scrooge was an unhappy, lonely businessman who did not like Christmas. But however, one Christmas, his life changed. Let's find out in the lesson how did his life change one Christmas. A Christmas Carol is a lesson in English literature, class 7th, written by Charles Dickens. He was one of the famous novelist and writer. His works became popular in the 20th century. His novels and short stories are widely read even today. So let's open to page number 16. I would want you all to open your course book, page number 16, to the lesson A Christmas Carol. So as I told you, this lesson talks about a person named Ebenezer Scrooge, a wealthy, unhappy, hard-working businessman who did not like Christmas. But one Christmas, his life changed. Let's read on to find out how. Scrooge was a wealthy man. I am reading to the first paragraph of the lesson, page 16. Please pay attention. Scrooge was a wealthy man, but he was a miser. The meaning of the word miser means stingy, a person who does not like to spend money, who wants to save money for himself. So in Hindi you can call it as kanjus. Ebenezer's favorite hobby was counting and collecting money, his own money. He never married because he did not like the idea of supporting a wife. Neither he had friends because he spent very little, and that very little he spent on himself. Scrooge, though he was a hard-working man, he did not like Christmas. And at that time, Christmas was just at the corner, means it was approaching. Christmas was the festival which the people were about to celebrate. It was just around the corner in the town. All the people were in a happy mood except Scrooge. Whenever he heard the saying, people saying Merry Christmas, he said, "What rubbish. It is just a time to pay bills, to know that you are a year older and not an hour richer." He always muttered to himself, grumbled that it is a time for lazy people. They do not do their work. They close their shops when it was time for money to be paid during Christmas. It was a good time for business around Christmas according to Scrooge. Scrooge never understood why people closed their shops and stayed at home when it was time for money to be made. So business was so good for him around Christmas. So he said, silly people close their shops and stay at home. He always grumbled. Grumbled here means uttering some words of discontent. So while others were preparing for Christmas, old Scrooge kept himself busy in thinking about the sums of money what others owed him. Owed here is borrowed. As he was a moneylender, he used to wait for the sums when people would return back. He had been doing this since a long time and he couldn't remember since when. As usual, his clerk named Cratchit, if he would ask for a leave to go home early, Scrooge would grant it, but most unwillingly. This Christmas was about to be different for Scrooge. As the old moneylender fell asleep at night, he was visited by a spirit. Spirit of Christmas visited Scrooge when he fell asleep at night. An old man who was in a ghostly white appearance, attired, appeared in front of him and said, Scrooge, come with me. I will show you your future. Scrooge got up and followed that old man as if they went on a journey traveling through clouds. Soon they came on a destiny which was a land which was marshy. Marshy is soft and slippery. Land which was thick, marshy, covered with mist. Mist here means it reduces our visibility, quite similar to fog. Scrooge was watching closely what he could see from where he was. When he was watching closely, he saw many people were chained in that particular place. He could recognize many people who were chained in that particular place. Chained here is bound, tied up with heavy chains, who couldn't get out from there and were crying for help. And he also recognized them there since a long time. They were there and they were all mortal, that is subject to death. After they were dead, they were put in that particular marshy land. They were weighed down by heavy chains. Weighed here is tied up with chains, couldn't get out from that place. Scrooge said that old man, they were once like you, hard-hearted and merciless. They too enjoyed counting money to the last penny. Look at them. Where are they now? Can their money help them? Give, Scrooge, give. Blessed are those who give. These are the words said by the old ghost, the spirit of Christmas, to Scrooge. So here the old man, the spirit, is pointing out to those people there and telling Scrooge that even he could be there, like those people too were hard-hearted and merciless and enjoyed counting money. So then the spirit tells him all this. The old miser couldn't believe what he had just seen with his eyes. Then the spirit tells Scrooge, let's go a bit farther from where they were, a bit ahead, so that Scrooge could understand more better. The spirit of Christmas brought Scrooge not far away, but to a place which was a graveyard. A graveyard is a place where people are buried after they are dead. So Scrooge could see there many tombstones, and one was a newly dug one with the name Scrooge, which was written on it. It was shown to Scrooge by the ghost, that is the spirit. The name Scrooge was written on the newly dug grave. Then the old man, that is the spirit, points out and shows Scrooge, this is your own grave. You're looking at your own grave, said the spirit to Scrooge. That is, to the miser it was said, "You see, there are no flowers, as during your lifetime you had no friends and family, so no one visited you, and you're going to be in the same place after you are dead. Your grave will be in ruins, and you will join those who are in the marshy land," said the spirit to Scrooge. Scrooge got frightened. He started begging and pleading the spirit, saying, "No, oh no, I beg of you, give me one chance to repent." As he got to know that he can change now what he had done, he started begging in front of the old ghost, holding his hand, wrinkled is having fine lines on his hand. So he was holding the spirit's wrinkled hand and begging for one more chance to repent. And he was frightened too, remember. He says, "Give me one chance to repent," as he shook the ghost's hand, and which was a wrinkled one. So now, when he was pleading, at that time he was very frightened. Suddenly he woke up from his sleep, from his dream. He was still shaking the bedpost when he woke up. Bedpost here is one of the four, you can say, bars of a wooden bed. One of the bar, he thought he is holding that old man's hand and he was still shaking the bedpost. And sweat was pouring down his face. He was totally shocked, scared, and it was the most frightening dream he had ever had, he says to himself. "Thank God," he says, "I am alive," he said again and again. Then, still remembering that whatever dream he had seen, now he is deciding, he's thinking, now he should do something good. He quickly got dressed and came out of his house. The first person he saw, he asked him, "My kind sir, can you please tell me what day it is?" A stranger replied, "Why are you asking me this? Of course, it is Christmas." So as soon as he heard it is Christmas, now he thought, so I'm not late. I can do something good. So now he wishes the stranger Merry Christmas. "A very Merry Christmas to you, sir, and may God bless you," Scrooge wished the stranger. This was the first time in his life he had done this. So now we are completing the page number 18 of the lesson. Now to the page number 19. Pay attention, children. Now suddenly, when he came to know that it's Christmas, he is not late for it. So now he is remembering Cratchit. Cratchit was a clerk who used to work under him. So clerk, a person who is in charge of files and keeping accounts, remember. So a clerk over here is Cratchit, who is employed under Scrooge. So, and he was working under Scrooge since many years. So now he thinks that he's going to buy a biggest turkey in the town and give to Cratchit. Turkey is a bird, a large bird grown for meat, especially popular at festive occasions during Christmas. So he thinks about him, that he is employed under him since many years. Neither he has raised his salary, neither he has gifted him anything. So now he thinks of doing something good. So he thinks of buying a turkey for him and gifting it to him. So then, bless him, he says, "Bless him good, Mr. Cratchit." The miser said this, and then he made his way to the food store. He bought a turkey and asked the delivery boy to deliver it to Cratchit's address without the name of the donor, without his name and address written on it. So he felt very happy doing this. This was the first time he had ever gifted somebody a present. And he was very happy. He felt very happy. Cratchit, when he received this present, was surprised. He wanted to thank the donor, But as there was no name written on it, he just let it go. Then, indeed, the Christmas this time which Scrooge had was the best he had ever had. And he realized a lesson. He learned a lesson what happiness we get when we give. This was a lesson which he learned. So now we learn here in the lesson, people like and trust good people. The lesson which Scrooge learned here is he realized what good feeling it was in being generous. Children, people like and trust good people. So goodness is the only investment which never fails, which means the acts of kindness and generosity never fail.